everyone, welcome back to a new vlog, or welcome if you're new here today. I'm Carrie Lynn, and today we are starting on the kitchen makeover. So we're calling it a kitchen makeover because I'm not really doing any crazy renovations for this space. I want to keep it super budget friendly. We are just going to be working with what we have, the layout we have, but just changing a few things and hopefully transforming this space. Today we are focusing on taking out this cabinet, patching the holes in the wall, working on painting the trim and some of the walls, basically getting the space prepped and ready for new shelving and tile backsplash, which I promise you will see in the next video. Unfortunately, I got a little too much footage, and when I combined this footage with the tile backsplash, it was just way too much, and I wanted to share the entire process with you because at the end of the day, as a content creator, I think it's important to show the process. It's not just a simple snap of your fingers and the project's done. It takes time and effort, but I want to show you that if I can do it, you can do it too. Thank you guys so much for following along. Don't forget to hit that red subscribe button before you head out today. I will be posting in just a couple days with the tile backsplash, and you don't want to miss it. I think it turned out so good, especially for the price. You will not believe how much this kitchen renovation ended up costing. It was crazy cheap. So really excited about that. But we're going to start off with clearing out this cabinet. Now, I've had this cabinet down in the past. A lot of you guys actually mentioned that in a previous video. I did at one point have open shelving. I had a very farmhouse style. If I can find a photo, I'll throw it here on the screen. But I did have open shelving at one point, and I actually didn't mind it. I think I just got kind of tired of it and was ready for change. So we ended up putting the cabinet back. Cabinet was great. It does hide a lot of stuff, as you can see, but half of the stuff we don't even use. So I worked on decluttering and finding a new home for all these cups and things. And a lot of it ended up getting donated because I don't really need all this stuff. So I cleared this out, and then my husband came in to help me tear out the trim, and we're going to work on taking the cabinet down, which was kind of funny because I was trying to hold it up and unscrew it at the same time, and I didn't know what he was doing, and I was like, do you have it? I don't know if you're holding it well enough. I was scared it was going to fall, so that was like a whole thing. Are you going to be able to hold the cabinet up?
Sure.
This is not even held in by any studs at all. Oh, my drill's stuck.
What are you doing?
I don't know. What are you trying to do? Beautiful. That hit something.
That all sounds the damn same.
No, it doesn't. It's right there. Move. Let me out. I'm getting claustrophobic. I'm freaking out. Ah! Move your foot. Babe, let me get out.
Yeah, it's got enough in it for that going on. It's got two on the studs.
So we ended up putting the cabinet in the laundry room because nothing gets wasted around here. We're going to reuse that for a laundry room makeover. So stay tuned. That's coming next. But now that the cabinet is down, I worked on patching the holes, which took me a little while because I ended up patching all the holes in the house because, you know, whenever you give a mouse a cookie, it wants milk. So yeah, basically it turned into 5 other projects, but I got it done. Got the wall painted after all the patching dried. And then we lived with the kitchen like this for a couple days until I decided, you know what, I got to do something in between the time that I find backsplash, because at this point I still hadn't decided what I was going to do yet. I'm the wing it type of person. So yeah, we're going to jump to that footage now. Okay, if you hear snoring in the background, Knox is not even asleep. He's awake. That's just how he sounds. So that's what that is. But the kitchen right now, this is where we're at. Took the cabinet down, I patched the holes, I painted, just did some touch up so that way it wasn't like an eyesore. And then I finished the caulking this trim. I need to do this trim still. This trim, That's like the most tedious job ever, I swear to you, and it's so important, but it's just not my favorite. So that's why I haven't done it. But I also started to paint the trim to kind of test out a paint color. This is actually the same color as the wall. I really like it. I actually think I'm gonna go ahead and paint the trim the same color as the wall. I like the color drenched style when it comes to trim. Unless it's like dark trim. Like if I was to paint the trim the same color as all the other trim that I have in the house, I probably would like it too, but I just feel like the white trim just stands out more like farmhouse style than what I'm wanting. I want more like charm and just very like subtle character. I don't want it to be in your face trim work. So I think I'm gonna paint it. We'll see how it goes. Worst case scenario, I'll repaint it white. Not a big deal, but you never know until you try. So anyway, that's the plan with this space. Also, by the way, another reason why I want to paint the trim is because every single rendering I did on ChatGPT, just to kind of like put my vision on paper so I could like show you guys what my idea is, there was no trim around the window, and I actually love the simplicity of it. And I think that if I paint it the same color as the wall, it won't be so heavy. It'll just feel lighter and like flow better. So that's like kind of my idea. Anyway, plan is 2 shelves here, backsplash. I was originally gonna do backsplash all the way up, but then I didn't like the idea of cutting the backsplash off here. Then I think it's gonna make this boxy and this is gonna look awkward again. It's gonna do the same thing that it did with the cabinet. So I am just gonna keep the backsplash here along this, around and around. So my plan is to finish caulking. I'm gonna paint all the trim. I'm also gonna take all of this down and I'm gonna paint this wall that's white. I'm gonna paint it the same color as the wall. It's gonna say shiplap just because I don't wanna deal with the damage that's possibly behind there right now, and the shiplap doesn't bother me. I just don't like that it's white. So I'm gonna paint that and then go from there. I've shared this a million times, but I will continue to share this until my channel is completely gone. Caulking the seams is one of the most inexpensive, easiest ways to upgrade your home. I promise you, this makes such a difference. The gaps and cracks at your ceiling, around your trim, at the baseboards, in your bathroom. Go to Lowe's and pick up the DAP brand. Make sure that it is for crown molding windows and make sure it's paintable. I always use white, and you're gonna go around and you're gonna fill all the seams. It is going to make the biggest difference. It'll make your house look finished. It'll make it look cleaner. Trust me, it is so easy to do. It's not as hard. And honestly, a couple tips I have, baby wipes work the best. Just make sure you get the kind that don't like crumble. Make sure you get like, I love the Great Value brand, the Parent's Choice. They have a sensitive one that works really well. An old rag, an old sock. You can use an old t-shirt, cut that bad boy up, wet it, and then as you run your finger down the caulk seam, just go very, very gently and then wipe any extra away. It's so easy. It just takes a little bit of practice. Try it in a hidden area first until you get the hang of it, but this will change the look of your house, I promise. Of the trim caulked and all the holes filled with some spackling. I got this large gap down here filled. This is actually gonna need probably another coat, but I don't wanna like overdo it because I want it to dry. So I'm just gonna leave it for now, let that dry for a couple hours, and then if I need to add another one I can, or I can always go in and add some trim. I may end up doing like a small like quarter round trim just because I feel like the caulk over time disintegrates, especially like after I mop and it kind of yellows a little bit. So I think trim would be the best option. And then as far as this gap here in between the door and the trim, this gap I'm actually gonna caulk after I paint. That way it's like a pretty white seam going down that'll match with the door. I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna do that on both sides and at the top of the gap. And then I'll do the same thing around the kitchen window. But now I am gonna go ahead and do a quick tidy up. I'm gonna get everything off the counters and then I'll go through. I need to caulk all the seams along here. They need like a refresh. and wipe everything down really good, get like a fresh clean. I'm gonna clean all this off, and then we'll go ahead and do some more touch-up paint, and I'll go ahead and start painting the trim. I'll probably start here and work my way this way. And a quick little hack, I always keep like an extra laundry basket on hand, so as I'm working, I can just kind of throw my tools back in here. That way they stay contained, and then I can carry them and put them away when I'm done. I want to share another really affordable fix with you guys. So the pendant light that we've had in the kitchen, we've had for a while. I actually got it back when I did the farmhouse style. So it definitely has that farmhouse look. I don't mind it. I'm just kind of over it. So I am going to change out just the globe. So I ended up taking off the cage of this one, which you can't see what I'm doing because I'm standing in the way. But here you can see this is what it looks like now. I just unscrewed the sides, and it does have like this one little lip at the top, but it doesn't really bother me. It actually kind of just adds some character to the actual pendant. So I took this off and I replaced it with a globe that I had from way back when we had our old moldy shed. I actually put this light fixture in that shed at one time, and I had Dylan save it for me. And so I've had this globe, this clear globe, sitting in my buffet cabinet in the dining room. So I decided, you know what, for now, since I don't have another one, let me just put this globe here instead and just see how this looks. And it actually really, really brightened up the kitchen. It's not exactly what I'm going for, but it's a really affordable way to change the look of the space. And as you can see, it looks totally different. Okay, this looks so much better. I feel like the lighting is a little off, so that's why it's like not picking up that great, but wow, what a difference. What a difference. It looks like a brand new kitchen already. Ha! I didn't even know you could do this, but I just like took off the little screws, tore this down, and just replaced just the bulb, so I didn't have to like do the whole thing. Ha! So cool. Now I can probably find one that I like even better to go here. I kind of wanted something like with a frosted glass. I thought would be really pretty, just to kind of like not be so bright on the eye, but this looks gorgeous, so I'm happy with it. So I'm just taking some brown paint. This is in the color Matte Raw Umber, and this is already like matte, so I'm just gonna be able to just do this right over top. And I may have to do a few coats, but this should help darken it up a lot. I'm just gonna go with the wood grain. Okay, now I'm going in with the second coat. At this point, after getting the shelf stained, or painted I should say, because that's all I used was paint, I went ahead and hung the shelf up. Now, most of the time you would work on your backsplash or whatever, but because I wanted to do the floating shelf, I'm actually going to backsplash around the shelf eventually. I don't know. At this point I didn't know. So I went ahead and got the shelf in place. However, I only have one, so it is going to look a little odd, okay? But just remember, I am going to add a second one. I mentioned it a couple times, but I know that sometimes when you're watching videos, you kind of skip ahead and skip around, which I get it. So I'm saying it multiple times in this video just in case anybody misses it the first time I say it. This is just temporary until I get the other shelf and I get the backsplash done. This shelf is actually from Target though, and it was pretty affordable for what it is, in my opinion. I actually had this exact shelf out in the new addition. You might remember that when I put that up above my desk. Now that I've changed up that space, I didn't need the shelf in there anymore, so that's why I stole it and I'm using it here in the kitchen instead. Now, this shelf is not very wide, so it doesn't fit a full-size plate. It'll fit like bowls and small plates and stuff like that, but it's not really functional as far as like plates go for in a kitchen. If you want your open shelving to hold plates, you're definitely going to have to get something that's 12 inches, that sticks out 12 inches. I wanted something very like low profile, closer to the wall, because the whole point of taking out the cabinet was because I didn't like how far it stuck out in between the door and obviously the window. It just looked kind of like it just stuck out like a sore thumb, in my opinion. And so having the shelf closer to the wall, I feel like just makes the space flow a little nicer. It actually allows so much more light to come in, which is weird, but I think it's because of the angle that the sun comes around up over the house and the building. So I ended up loving it. Anyway, I decorated it a little bit just temporarily because I couldn't just leave it plain. It looked really weird. And then I got started with painting. I am painting the trim the same color as the walls. It's called Agreeable Gray by Sherwin-Williams. Look, I'm still stuck like 4 or 5 years ago. I love this color. I don't care. I don't care how many styles change or trends come and go. This color will always be my favorite. A lot of you have asked about this color though, if it pulls more gray or it pulls more beige or white. I will say, depending on your lighting, depending on what you have in your house, this color changes. So throughout the day, the color actually changes. Sometimes it looks more gray, sometimes it looks more beige, and sometimes it can even pull like it looks white. But I would say this is a great color if you're not sure if you want to go with gray or beige or heck even white. I think this is just a perfect neutral. It doesn't pull too cool tone or too warm tones. It really is the perfect neutral. That is why I always choose to use it, because it goes well with everything in my house, whether I'm going with dark wood tones or light wood tones, or I have grays or more browns. It always looks good. You know what's really nice about painting the trim the same color as the walls? You don't have to worry about taping it off. The only area that I had to be really careful around was where like the door and the trim meet, because I didn't want to get paint all over our brand new door and our brand new window trim. So I did, get really careful, and at one point I ended up using tape around the kitchen window because I did not want to get it all over the frame of the new window. But I went to town painting, and this went by pretty quick. I just use a really inexpensive paintbrush and roller from Lowe's. I just buy whatever's the cheapest, and yeah, I get started. I usually work on the seams first, like all the corners where the roller can't reach, and then I go over it with the roller because I like the texture that the roller gives much better than the paintbrush strokes. So if you're ever painting like trim or doors, make sure you're using the paintbrush in the corners and then a roller over that. It's going to give you the most smooth professional finish possible. So as I was going to town, I started to kind of brainstorm a project for this area over here where the shiplap is and the hooks. Now, for the longest time, we used this space as like a command center. I would hang my purse here, coats, towels, and stuff like that. And it actually functions so well using it for that because I don't have an entryway for the front door. So this is a really great way to be able to have a spot for us to kind of, catch all everything. However, when it is full of like book bags and purses and towels and things, it becomes an eyesore. So I really, really, really want to make this a floor to ceiling cabinet. I want to have like hidden storage for those things because it's about to be, well, it's not about to be, but eventually it's going to be spring, summertime again. We're going to start getting in the pool. We're going to be going in and out of the backyard a lot more. We actually have a lock on our sliding glass door now, so we can actually use the back door as an entrance now too. Before we couldn't because the back door didn't lock from the outside, but now it locks and unlocks from the outside. So we can actually utilize our side gate if we want to come in and out this way. And having this is perfect for us, especially in our small house. So what I'd like to do is close it in, create a command center kind of entryway cabinet so we can shut the doors when it's chaos. Obviously open it when we need it. I think it's going to be really great. So that's going to be my plan. I am probably going to have to custom build it because this is an awkward space. I don't think I'm going to be able to find a cabinet that would fit here that's thin enough. So yeah, I think that's one of those projects that I would love to work on this year. I'm not putting a time limit on it. I'm not saying when I'm going to do it. I'm just saying that is something I do plan on working on eventually. I was going to use this as a coffee bar. While the idea is great, it just doesn't function that well with the entrance of the door, like the in and out. It's just kind of like in the way. This makes more sense to use it as kind of like a catch-all, kind of like a hall closet, entryway, hall tree, whatever they call those things. So eventually that's what this is going to be utilized for again. And I just think that makes more sense for our family. And I'm moving forward with all projects in our house. I want functionality. I also want it to look beautiful, but functionality is top priority. And when you live in a small house, you will do literally anything to find ways to add more storage to your house. Although I just took out a cabinet that provided storage, but you get what my point. I'm trying to make it functional, beautiful, and also have all the storage space that I could possibly get. So anyway, that's enough of that. Working on painting this wall now. As you can see, I feel like this looks so much better now that it's not white. I feel like the farmhouse white shiplap is just kind of like not really my style anymore. I would love to rip all this out, but I didn't want to have to go through the process of having to re-put all the hooks in. Not to mention, listen to what I did, y'all. So I got extremely lucky. I don't know how I got this lucky, but we did. So behind this wall is my shower. My dumb butt didn't think about plumbing, okay? And when we put the shiplap up and the hooks and the shelf, I never once considered, dang, I could hit a pipe. Thank God we never did. But yeah, that is a possibility. So before you start nailing in your walls or screwing in your walls, pay attention to where your electrical outlets are and your plumbing, because you sure could have a huge mess if you're not careful. We got extremely lucky. And now I'm too scared to put anything on this wall because this behind it is my shower and I'm scared I'm going to hit a freaking pipe. Oh, what a nightmare that would have been. Officially, everything has been painted. The shelf is up for now, temporarily. Once I get the backsplash on, I think it's gonna look so much better, but this is where we're at. Now I need another shelf. I actually need to go by Target. I think I'm just gonna get another one of those and then just keep it like pretty simple on the shelves, like nothing crazy. But I think if I added one more, it would look so cute. So yeah, so far so good. Back of it, I'm gonna try this light instead. Up here. Watch out, Knox. Watch out, baby. There. This is a great stopping point. I made great progress today. This shelf is just temporary, just keep that in mind. I have another one coming. This one will drop down a little bit. We'll have a second one. Then I'll style it a little bit better. The new pendant light, we got to pick something else out because it's like disappearing into the sun. I did put this one over there to see if I liked it. I love it. Something darker, you know, kind of like break it up, but just different shape than the last one. However, if I take this one down, then we have a problem. Now we have like a little cord hanging down. So I'm just going to buy something different for over there. Like I said, another shelf is, I got it ordered. I am going to get the backsplash tomorrow. I'm really excited. I am starting to feel like motivated to tackle this kitchen. It is gonna be in parts. I mean, number one, things are expensive. It's a lot of work. You know, just bear with me. But I think that when it's all done, it's gonna look great. Also, was it a good call to paint the trim? You can be honest. I like it. I feel like it's not as like bulky and like in your face. But I do think it needs like a little hint of color. Something's missing. But then again, when the backsplash is up, that is really gonna brighten everything up. I just know it. So, I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of live with it and see how it goes over the next couple days. But here's just a reminder of what it looked like before I took out the cabinet. And this is what it looks like right now. So you can kind of start to see a little bit of my vision coming together. I definitely think this is going to flow a lot nicer. I feel like the kitchen looks 10 times bigger. So stay tuned. Next video, I will be sharing with you guys the tile backsplash, finishing up the kitchen. You don't want to miss it. I think you guys are going to love it. And you're going to be surprised at my choice. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. I'll see you in my next one. Bye, y'all.